Yes, the Detroit Lions got 4 sacks against the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams, but that should not make you feel great about the pass rush. The Lions went up against the quarterback last season that held on to the ball the longest and was sacked more than any other quarterback in the National Football League. I think Caleb Williams was sacked almost 70 times in his rookie season. And so that's not a reason to get excited, but it is a reason to kind of say, hey, maybe this is when the Lions defensive line will be jump-started. I mean, we saw what happened with Davenport. Davenport actually got the first sack for the Detroit Lions 2025 season, and he got hurt. We don't know how long he's going to be out. And this is something that I thought was dead in the water, and in all likelihood, it probably is. But it was brought up to me in my comment section. You guys immediately wanted me to talk about this because some of you believe that Trey Hendrickson could be back on the table because of what happened to his MVP caliber Pro Bowl quarterback, man. This is actually coming from Adam Schefter yesterday. Everyone knows about this now. Sources, images of Joe Burrow's turf toe injury are being sent and to noted specialists. And then it says to be reviewed. If surgery is deemed necessary, it would be expected to sideline Burrow for 3 months. Burrow was in a walking boot and on crutches after today's game. Now, that was yesterday. We got an update that it is indeed some type of turf toe, and Joe Burrow is going to need surgery. 3 months is the time he would be sidelined. Now, I don't know if that's the entire injury process from getting the initial diagnosis to being back on the field playing a regular season game, but 3 months is almost the entire season. It's almost the entire season. And a lot of Lions fans were instantly like, well, that means that the Bengals are done. They're going to be DOA and Trey Hendrickson will be available. Now, will they be DOA? I don't know. If they are, is Trey Hendrickson going to be available 100%? It would be dumb of the Cincinnati Bengals to not try to shop this dude to a Super Bowl contending team, right? As his contract is expiring, they can get something for him. It would be that's what I fully expect, right? Is your general manager, Melvin Bradley, Matthias Jerome, Cornelius Holmes, going to do it? You see me shaking my head. Of course he's not. Of course he's not. He's not going to do it because he doesn't make moves like this. He's not going to do it. I would love, it would be something. How the irony of you trading for a pass rusher at the trade deadline because your elite pass rusher was down. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we have an elite pass rusher. If Aiden didn't get hurt, Za'Darius is not on this team. So we're not going to do it. But Lions fans want me to talk about this, so I will. So first case, let's see what likelihood that the Cincinnati Bengals will be right around week 9 or 10 or so in a sale position. And I think even if they're not, with Joe Burrow being done for the season, they'll probably just shelve him for 2025. I feel horrible for the kid. He is in the 6th year in the league, and he's now been sidelined for 3 of those seasons. He had his second year, he had the blasted knee, then you had the injury his 4th year, and now his 6th year is going to sideline him as well. He had the wrist injury in his 4th year. So I think that the Bengals might just be like, you know what? In a year they paid T. Higgins and Jamar Chase that they could be done. Now they are 2-0 at the moment. Let's take a look, but it is barely a 2-0. Now in the game against the Browns in week 1, you had the former kicker of the St. Louis Battlehawks miss 2 or 3 kicks. One, and they all could have essentially won them the game. They got away from Paul Brown Stadium with a win, with the 1-point win. Yesterday, I didn't watch the highlights yet, but I understand that Trey Hendrickson got a game-sealing sack to make them 2-0. Let's look at the rest of the schedule, and let's see what could possibly the Bengals be. Okay, the Minnesota Vikings, I don't know about this one because J.J. McCarthy, who is not great anyway, still essentially a rookie, he is going to be sidelined for 2 to 3 weeks, and they are going to go with whoever their backup is. So this could go either way for the Cincinnati Bengals. It is in Minnesota, so that could work to their advantage. The Denver Broncos, I think the Denver Broncos can and will win this game. I know they lost yesterday. Bo Nix didn't have his best game. So let's just hypothetically say that these games could go either way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys put it in the comment section. What do you think the record is going to be? I'll leave it 100% up to you. I'll just fill in if they were to be sellers at the trade deadline. The Detroit Lions, I had us down as an L before Joe Burrow got hurt. Now that he's not hurt, I think we can win this game. Joe Burrow is that much of a difference maker that with a guy like him T and Jamar, he running away with things. But with him being down, that is a game-changing, like season-ending type thing. That is what we're terrified of us happening in Detroit. The Green Bay Packers, it is at Lambeau. They will lose this game. Green Bay is firing right now. The Cincinnati Bengals didn't have the greatest defense, and without I don't think without Joe Burrow, they have a chance to do anything. To be completely honest with you, they're gonna like fold back into the Bengals of old. Then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. That could go either way. The New York Jets, they got to get themselves together. And then their bye week is right around the trade deadline. So the trade deadline will happen. It will happen during their bye week. So that is 9 games. What would it take for the Cincinnati Bengals to be sellers at the trade deadline? At the trade deadline, let's see what they have after that. You've got Pittsburgh, New England, the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, the Miami Dolphins, and then the Cleveland Browns and Arizona Cardinals. So in order for the Cincinnati Bengals to be sellers, I think that they've got to be, you're talking about 9 games, they would have to be 3-6. If the Cincinnati Bengals are 3-6, they probably will be sellers. But again, even if they're not sellers, they have to think of the long term here. So it's not necessarily that they have to be sellers. If Joe's done, their season's done. They're not going to make the play. Well, they might make the playoffs. They're going to be one and done. They probably have to do it on the road, even though currently they do lead the AFC North. But do you really think the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson is going to let that stand? Right. So I see Baltimore maybe coming and winning that division, which will put them, if they do make the playoffs, you're talking a one and done. What can Trey do for you this year? With Joe Burrow being down, he is more valuable being traded away, right? Being traded away. He already has 2 sacks on the season, essentially 1 per game so far this NFL season. But here's something that is kind of what I'm wondering here, right? If we look at his contract, we know that he's got $30 million. Look, this is not going to be what the Lions or if he got traded to a team, the team is not going to pay him $30 million. According to Over the Cap, his cash payout was $29 million. And I think he had like a signing bonus of $13 million in addition to the 16 that he was already getting. So he's getting almost $30 million. Somehow they gave him a signing bonus of $13 million. I think it's like 9 bonus and then some type of incentive base to get it up to $30 million. So if you look at this, if the Cincinnati Bengals have played 9 games and the Detroit Lions, he'll get traded after that. So that'll leave him with 8 games. And if you get paid per game and if he's getting $30 million, so I don't know exactly how that would work, but the Lions do have the money. They have the money still. Let's just hypothetically say, just for this conversation's sake, that we owe him, if he gets traded, we got him for, you're talking about a 8-game rental of a dude that you're paying probably, I'm guessing about $15 million or so if the salary is divided by the paychecks. I don't know how, if the bonus stuff he got all, and then $20 million and that was guaranteed or something like that. So I don't know. It's kind of, Spot Track says one thing and Over the Cap. So anyway, but the point is that the Lions would have the money for either way it would go. And with Davenport being potentially out for we don't know how long, we'll know that probably, I think by Baltimore we'll know. I don't expect him to go. So if the Cincinnati Bengals are 3-6, I think they're sellers. I think they're going to be sellers anyway because their season is done. And if you can get something for a guy that's going to walk, that you don't have intentions to franchise tag. Now, if you do have intentions to franchise tag him, that's something different. But you're also going to be paying a ridiculous salary for 1 year of this guy's services. You're talking about probably, I think it's probably going to be $35 million, $37 million, something crazy like that. They take the top 5 people at that position, and then they divide that, and that's how you get the. I think that's how you get the franchise tag. It's something along those realms. So, and I say that because you guys are super picky in the comment section. So, you'll go and correct that information. But I think that this could be done. Now, let's bring it back to Brad Holmes. Is Brad Holmes going to do this? Here's my honest opinion. If Brad Holmes, if he was to make a move, let's say, so Aiden is healthy and he's good to go. Davenport, and all jokes aside, let's say he's done for the season because I fully expect him to be put on IR. I fully expect him to be put on IR. It could be season ending. We don't know. I'm not trying to wish that on him, but it could be IR, and IR is a minimum of 4 weeks, a possibility the rest of the season, right? So if the Bengals are 3-6, they're going to be sellers. If Brad Holmes thinks the way that he would make this move with Hutch being healthy is he understands, he finally gets the fact that we need a quality edge rusher outside of Aiden Hutchinson and that we don't have it. You're talking about an 8-game rental in if Brad did this, he felt that this was the time to make that move. And that would be something. I mean, it would be something if we made a repeat of exactly what we did last year. The only difference is Hutch is still playing. Do I think Brad Holmes is going to do this? History says no. But you'll be surprised, man. I don't think he's going to do this. But if he's genuinely faced with the decision, if he genuinely thinks that he needs to make a move, that things are not all bubbles and rainbows like he thought they were, I could see him making a move. Do I think the Bengals are going to part with him? I could see the Bengals parting with him 100%, especially if the Bengals, because you got to understand, if you watch football, you understand that the Bengals season is done. They're done. Best case scenario, they make the playoffs. Best case scenario, they win the division. They got a home game. They lose. They're losing wild card divisional round tops if they make the playoffs. That's if they make the playoffs. So at this point, if I'm the Bengals, are you throwing in the towel just yet? No. But if I'm 3-6, yeah. And I got a dude that can net me some draft capital that's on an expiring contract, you absolutely Skippy. I'm taking that. I'm taking it. But would Brad Holmes do this? Would he do this? The only way he would do, I am convinced now that he does not give a FART about the pass rush. FART. I was going to say FAR-toot, whatever. He doesn't give a pass gas about the pass rush, bro. He just doesn't. About an edge rusher, he has done it. He's sick of talking about it. It's like taking a wet towel and slap you in the face. He just done talking about it. It's apparent that he does not care about. We have one elite pass rusher. That's all he thinks we need. We don't even have depth. We cut a practice squad guy in Isaac Ukwu for a quarterback that's never going to see the field, hopefully. That tells you how much he values. Like, you could have cut a DT, you could have cut a wide receiver, which I'm glad he didn't, but you could have cut any other of the 15 positions. You cut a edge rusher. It shows Brad has shown us his tail. We know who he is now. He is not Aiden Hutchinson fell in his lap. That's the only reason he's on this team. That's it. Okay? Now, there is a possibility. We'll talk about somebody that we talked about before, okay? That could also be a possibility. But the reason I'm talking about this is because instantly, upon learning that Joe Burrow went down, everybody knew the Bengals season was over, and they were like, does that mean that Trey's back on the table? And I say 100% yes. It only makes sense. The Bengals aren't going anywhere, but will your general manager pull the trigger? No, he will not. Unless he thinks that he has no choice but to do so, that he understands that we have to move the needle this season. And if he does that, if there is a top-tier caliber pass rusher outside of Aiden Hutchinson on this team, November 15th of 2025, Brad is feeling the heat. I'm telling you that right now. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. Don't forget, I do have a P.O. box in the description if anybody wants to send me anything. Trust me, I don't want to have to mention it, but I have to, because nobody goes to look down there, and then I'm getting, asked for my address and stuff like that. Maybe I'll put it on the banner as well. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. I'm very curious. Let me know, what do you think what do you think about the Bengals? Do you think they have a chance, or do you think it would make sense for them to trade Trey Hendrickson? But, he'll look, watch he wind up in Philadelphia. Why not?